And personally, my argument is, and this is just me personally, that, and we haven't talked about this as a council, but my argument is it's not just a Pacifica plan, it's a San Mateo County coastline plan that we need to be part of. And that affects, you know, the seawall, it affects the promenade, it affects the apartments, it affects Dollar Radio, it affects the golf course, it affects the whole 9 yards in town. So I think been moving forward on that for some time. I can tell you in terms of the apartment buildings themselves, the city has no role per se. We convened when Sue was mayor. Sue and I were at that meeting. Every official organization related to that I could possibly imagine, including Jackie Spear. And there really wasn't anything that we could do with public money until public property is threatened. You see, otherwise it becomes a gift of public funds, and you can't do that for an individual owner. So those owners right now are working out or arguing or whatever. Jerry, you want to add?
If I get a little bit, it's not just a city or a county, to me it's a state asset. I mean,
Well,
this is something that is so special. And when we walked and spent the time up there at the apartments and met with FEMA, the Federal Emergency, the State Emergency Management Agency, and we were able to get funds, state funds, to help with the drainage issue. I think we were able to get about $500,000 to assist in the repair of that drainage that's coming out right next to the apartments. So it is a major thing, and I think by us working together, we'll get the maximum we can from every agency that's possible. So it is a real, I mean, this is the asset. I mean, that's why many of us live here, because of the beauty of that. We want to protect it, and we want to protect the economy that supports it.
And Assemblyman Hill and Jackie Spear's office, Brian Perkins has been very involved in this from the federal level. So we've had communications back and forth on this particular issue for some time. And I really think we have to have that kind of plan out there ultimately to address it. Yes? Yeah. She was ahead, way ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry, Earl.
I've been trying. Okay.
Yes.
It has to do with, again, health, because that's my issue. And my concern is, how do we get to you with some proposals? One of them being is, how much do we spend for the health care benefits of the employees? And when I realized you guys are an employee of the city, people that serve on committees are often employees who are paying health care benefits. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's not true. And so, how do I find out that information? Because there's a way we can save money with all that. And it's not, you know, slice and dice. What it is to kind of spread it out and get it so healthcare becomes the right again of the people.
Actually, that was part of our contracts. We capped it. I want to make sure that, because we're running out of time, so I'm going to address this and then we're going to have to finish unless you had to add it up, an additional question.
Well, we don't have to slice. We can look at it from a different angle, meaning we don't have to use insurance companies anymore. We can have our own thing, and I'll explain that to you in another time.
Actually, self-insurance is what we've done with the dental plan already. We've actually looked at some of those options. Our big thing is we initially went with a cafeteria plan, and in the contracts now, and we'll have to do this with also looking at it for city council, is we have capped a 50% cash out, and it covers your deductibles and those sorts of things, but you can't, when you take the whole thing in cash, it becomes really burdensome. So we're going to see where that, because that may mean, and there's pros and cons to that, I have to tell you. We went back and forth about it, because then, well, in one place somebody shifts their husband or wife is got a better plan somewhere else, so they take all the cash they can here, or now our plan becomes better, so they decide they're going to take all the money over here, or take all the, so we have to kind of work and figure that all out, and we've looked at self-insurance before.
This is not self-insurance, we're talking about single payer.
Yeah. Oh, you want that? Can I close with one thought? Yes. Okay. I'm going to really blow you away here for a second, because some of you know that last year I got caught in some of the state stuff myself. And so my particular department at UC was kind of eliminated. And so there was quite a period of time that I went without that piece of my income. And so I took a job with the Veterans Administration, the medical center in San Francisco as a manager, as you heard Barbara say. And one of the things that I started investigating, first of all, I kept noticing how different the VA is than when I was around it 20 years ago. If you haven't been around the VA for a while, you really need to do it. It's gone 180 degrees. It's very indicator driven, it's very consumer driven, and it's run by veterans largely through the council. There's a lot of good involvement, but if you get a chance, you should read a little paperback book. Because this book was written by, it's called The Best Care Anywhere. It's a little book, you can get it in Walden's, Amazon, but it was written by a reporter for Business Week. And that reporter was asked, like Business Week does, to do the top 10 healthcare systems in the country. And he was given a bunch of indicators to do it on. And I am just absolutely amazed and thrilled to tell you that the VA system came out #1 on virtually every one of those indicators. Wow. From cost to infections to outcomes to you name it. It was across the board an amazing, amazing thing. And I am really proud that every day I walk into that institution and there's the carpet, the price of freedom. I'm just proud to be able to give back in that way. And that's a single payer system. Thank you.
All right.
It's good to know that you've made yourself comfortable.
We're all very comfortable. I've been here 3 hours, many of you have been here 2.5 hours, and I feel it's like we just got started. It was a wonderful speech, very informative. I personally wish we could go on for a little bit more. And definitely we want to hear more questions. This has been a great morning. Lots of questions. This is what democracy and Republican democracy is all about. It's the intercourse, the discourse among people, whether they agree or they don't agree. We need to talk. We need to find the common thread among us. So thank you one and all. And one other thing, if anyone is interested in becoming a grand juror in San Mateo County, please let me know. I'm the new president of the San Mateo County Grand Jurors Association. We will be recruiting in April, March, things like that. And it's a wonderful